in this particular run. This is any percent. I may do some of the like larger categories as I get better at this game, but I imagine this run itself is going to take long enough. Pretty much, Will-O-Wisp. So hopefully when I hit begin here, Live Split will automatically pick it up and start off the run. If not, then, you know, we'll figure that out as it goes along. So yeah, hopefully I don't have to hit any buttons for this. Let's do it. Perfect. The unfortunate thing is we can't actually see, like, my current time. But, you know. At this point, you don't have your dash yet, so you can only really go so quick. You can speed climb up walls. This takes a lot of stamina, but it's not so bad. I do love this intro for the game. Thanks, Ty. Enjoy whatever. I can do this, maybe.
Oh.
Does mean the auto splitter will basically get gold splits for everything, which is kind of funny. Alright, here's basically where the speedrun proper starts, so let's go. Whee! We will be solving a lot of these puzzles in not the intended way, if it's faster, basically. There's some real wacky shit you can do in this game. We won't be doing all of it, but there will certainly be a good amount. Ah. Deaths don't tend to matter that much, it should be mentioned, since this game checkpoints very aggressively. Yeah, you're gonna get all the O's today. So yeah, when you see me do some like really ridiculous fast stuff, like where I'm just flying across the screen, those are the kinds of like tricks that speedrunners use here. And I can explain them at some point, but we'll see. The important thing is when your hair is red, you can dash. When it's blue like that, you can't dash. As long as you keep that in mind, that'll sort of help you keep track of what's going on at any given point. There are all sorts of things that like refill your dash, such as hitting a spring, touching the ground at just about any point, hitting one of the green crystals that we've sort of been seeing around. A few other things. Wow, I'm surprised I just lived there. There we go. You can do some real wacky wall jumps at times. You're not supposed to be able to do this, like, climbing walls without using stamina, but you can totally do it. Okay, that was pretty good.
Oh.
Oh, it absolutely wouldn't, Will-O-Wisp. Like, the whole point of this is that you're just getting all of these little bite-sized challenges. By the way, the menuing doesn't really matter in this game, because the in-game timer is not running when you're on the menu screen. It does run during cutscenes, or might not. I'm not actually 100% sure about that. Whee! Let's see if I can do this stupid shit here. Ah! Almost. There are a lot of quirks of the dash system that are useful to be aware of. For example, your dash will always recharge when you go across a stream transition. which means that you can do a lot of abusive stuff when you're going between streams between screens that you really shouldn't be able to. So far, so good. Of course, it's at the hotel that I sort of expect us all to go tits up, you know. By the way, we will be doing a regular playthrough of this game at some point. There's like a lot of cutscene and story stuff that I'm just skipping straight through here that is actually really, really good and fun. Also, the thing that I'm trying to do here is a bit tough timing-wise. There we go. Basically, it just saves you a dive. I could be doing all of this a lot faster than I am, but I'm kind of, you know, not quite good enough at the game yet for that sort of thing, so... Oops. Oh, I saved that somehow. Nice. For the record, we're basically being chased by shadow clones here. They will kill us if they touch us. Ah, damn. You can totally fit through this really well. Oh, and yes, the soundtrack is really good. It was done by Lena Rainey, if you've heard of her. Ah, damn it. Alright, so I need to get myself back there, like, and put myself in a position where the clones won't, like, hit me. This should be alright. There we go. You can actually totally fit yourself straight into here. Come on. Alright, not too bad. Ah. There we go. Alright, this level is more or less done at this point. At least the hard parts are. Oops. Skip the cutscene. There are a few pretty major skips in this game. And also, sorry if I'm not, like, reading chat very actively. This game is extremely, extremely active. I will do my best to check it when I can, but, like, it ain't gonna be as much as, like, in Mario runs.
Oh.
Alright. 7:31. Not too bad. Yeah, 6:44 for the whole for the in-game timer. That's the other thing. The timer on the splits is going to be ahead because it's always running during the cutscene time. I might need to like look into how to change that, but that's for later. For now, if you want to know how, like, you know, how the run's doing time-wise, oops, just look at the in-game timer. Here is a fun little skip that takes advantage of the fact that you get your dodge back when you transition between screens. Normally, you're supposed to go across those like spike platforms over there. Now this room, which I suck at. I can accept this. This level is like one of the first really difficult ones. Mostly because these spinny guys are like, I don't know, my brain doesn't handle them very well, basically. Nice, I got that on the first try. Perfect. The strawberries with wings are basically movement challenges, by the way, that are like, they'll hang around as long as you don't dash, but then as soon as you do dash, they disappear. You do actually take advantage of that in a few places, though, when collecting the strawberries, which we are not doing. God, this, like, the biggest thing about this level is that the moving obstacles make it so much harder to properly, like, to time a lot of things. This level is sort of much more cycle-based than the first two. Oops, that's fine. Whee! Ah, didn't get the dash jump out there, and I really do need that. I need to, like, get the speed of a dash jump, but then also keep my dash so that I can get through this platform. And that's how you basically skip this puzzle. There we go. So you saw I got a lot more momentum there, and that was because of the, that I kept the dash jump, basically. I need to figure out how to do this one. Oops, that wasn't what I wanted at all. Yeah, you can sort of see how sometimes you just get into terrible patterns with these things. And then the other thing that makes this level really long is this section right here, where you basically have to do 3 separate sections to like continue the story along. Like, you can see that there's a key in the middle of the room here, but we can't get to it with all this clutter in the way. I really like all of this game's metaphors for, like, depression and stuff. I really, really like the story for this game as a whole. And we will be actually playing through this properly so that we can, you know, like, pay attention to that story at some point. Yeah, I knew I fucked that up. And now, of course, they're on a slightly different cycle, which is... there we go. I'm a little surprised by that, you know, I'll take it. Ah! Damn it, if I had just fallen there, I would have been good. Go. Ooh, I almost just missed that there. Alright, time for another one of those tricks. Kind of dislike this one. I'm trying to jump off of the wall with, like, the wall jump off the wall with the spikes. It'll be very obvious when I actually do it correctly, but, like, there we go, there we go. You can skip that room very quickly if you're, like, you know, good at this. Just gotta hit this switch. This removes the brown blocks, and we will be doing the same with the green and purple ones. Whoop. Like the only chapter where I actually have to talk to people. Shameful. Alright. Come on. The interesting thing about these is that depending on the order you do them, certain sections will actually become harder, because you can sort of see that there are impediments from all 3 of these in here, from like all 3 colors in here. There we go. Could do that faster, but that's fine. So, like, sometimes you'll remove, by hitting one switch, you'll remove platforms in another section that actually would have made that section easier. This is another one of those weird jumps. Let's see if I can get it right. There we go. Kept my jump, which means, or kept my dash, which means I can sort of just skip another section. So much of this game is about finding ways to hold your dash in places you aren't really supposed to. I know, right? Talking, it's the worst. Okay, one more section to go. Not in the level as a whole, admittedly, but in this part of it. I had a trick for this room. I don't remember what it is, though. That was a little lucky. Not too proud to admit that. That's not fast enough to get the good cycle on this, so I guess we'll have to do this the slow way now. Ah, shit. That was a diagonal dash when I meant to do an up dash. There we go. There we go. Perfect. All right, this has not been so bad as far as the hotel goes so far. It's also just a longer level than the other two, or than the first two. This cutscene, go into this place. Oops. Somehow that worked out fine. Oops. Alright, that was really lucky. And then damn it. There we go. This room gave me hell in my original playthrough, but mostly because I was going for that strawberry up there, and that was like one of the hardest ones I had seen up to that point. Also, that should have been a leftward dash rather than a diagonal up one. The controls in this game are very, very tight. Like, you can have difficulty with them sometimes just because they are incredibly precise a lot of the time, but overall, they're just quite, like, I like it a lot. Like, I really just like the way this game feels to play. Now for this room, which is awful. Basically, I'm just gonna keep jumping across until eventually I get a, jump out on the correct set of moves. Ah, damn it, I think if I had done that properly there, I would have gotten that. For the record, when I dash and then jump, I get this long one. When I jump and then dash, that's basically just a screw up. That was my fault. That should have been just a regular dash and jump. Like I said, this room's pretty hard. If I had just waited for him to go down there, it would have been good. Time save in future runs, you know how it is. The soundtrack is absolutely fantastic. The challenge mode levels are actually called B-sides, which is another nice little thing. And they are remixes of the game's soundtrack by other people, and it's really good. Fell off that time. Alright, I should just do this a slower way. Clearly, I'm not doing myself any favors here. Clearly. By the way, we are going to take an intentional death here as soon as I actually manage to get this damn key. The reason for that is that you don't lose keys through death. I need to be a little more patient on that last one. There we go. So if I just hit retry, I keep the key with me, and it warps me back to the, start of the room, which is what I want. Okay, I believe this is the last room before the final section of this level. Beans. Right, get this cutscene. This cutscene, and now we have a chase sequence. Oops. And that was meant to be a dash jump. You're gonna be seeing a lot of that until I get, good at the game. shit. I knew that was about to happen. Didn't really need that, but, you know. Damn it, I almost survived that. I'm just gonna play this whole section super safe. Ah, shit. So I ran out of climb strength right at the end there. And unfortunately, slightly earlier than I was expecting. That's alright, though. Didn't mean to do that. If you time this right, you actually do just hit his head here like this, and then you can just go straight over. Oh, damn it. I had that. I hesitated. This section is very, very difficult. Ah, usually I can land there. Screwed up the timing, so yeah. Yes, I grabbed the very edge of that. Ah, this fucking part. And then I miss on my fucking... Ah, damn it. There we go. In general, dashes are faster than just walking, but they are, you know, also tougher to control. Also, unforced error there. And then, obviously, you want to be doing dash jumps, or, you know, like, jump and dash combinations as often as possible. Oh, shit. I didn't want to land on that spring there. Yeah, this is probably the hardest room in this particular level. And I should probably be taking it slightly slower so that I don't keep doing that. I had actually gotten through the first time, which actually kind of makes it even more annoying that I died later. A lot of the time, alright, I just wasn't paying attention to there. I was like trying to plan my path to the next part. Ugh, yeah, this is kind of how I expected this level to go. This game is very, very difficult. Particularly when you're trying to do it in speedy fashion. There are also like a lot of minor optimizations that I am aware of, but not currently going for, just because I'm not 100% confident about them. That should be the end of it? Yes. Woo! Well, that'll be a good one for next time. This game is absolutely awesome, Maquette. I love it. Only 67 deaths there, that's fine. One thing to know about it is that each level sort of introduces a gimmick to it. Like those red guys were last level's gimmick, these clouds, and then eventually another mechanic are this level's gimmick. They do tend to layer them, I should mention. This level also has these bubble things, which basically will launch you out in whatever direction you're pointing, like half a second after you jump into them. So they're like very tight timing-wise. Forget that that cutscene warps you to the other side of that room. Yeah, there's also this wind here that this level has. That was what I wanted. Wind basically pushes you back in a direction and sort of screws up your platforming. Oops. That. Oh, damn it. I wasn't actually expecting I would break that. I forgot that your dashes will do that just fine. One thing I have to make sure I don't do in this stage is press the buttons too hard. Because, like, I think it's just the fact that the wind is out in this level, like, just makes me kind of hold down the button harder than I should, and it hurts my hand, which is silly, I know, but kind of just, you know, it's how the game makes you feel sometimes. I haven't really mentioned, but these things are basically keys that move those blocks around and generally impede your progress. Oops, there we go. When you get wind, you can actually, like, climb up walls and stuff like that if it's hefty enough. Oops. Okay, it wasn't quite what I was going for, but that's fine. Here's a fun little skip. Good. Wasn't sure I was gonna make that. This room is giving me a lot of problems because you have to do a really weird jump at this part right here. Damn. Okay, so I'm trying to get like a super boosted jump that also lets me keep my dash so that I can then dash up the wall here. Like that, but, you know, actually hitting the wall. This is very difficult, and if I miss it twice, it would have been better to just ride this thing all the way out. But where's the fun in that, right? Okay, so I didn't get enough distance out of that. That's why that one failed. This is basically like one of the points in the level where I will get stuck until eventually I'm just gonna make one. I think if I had dashed slightly earlier, I would have made that one. Definitely one of the tougher tricks that I'm still actually attempting in the run right now. Yeah, so that one didn't get the speed that I needed off of it. A few more and I will probably just, you know, ride it out. Okay, the other thing about that block thing is that it will break if it, you know, hits a wall and can't continue on forward, which is why I'm, like, maneuvering it under this thing. And then it goes under me. God damn it. That's not usually how I fail this. Yep, practice is practice. I mean, again, any time is PB, so I need to be slightly faster here. And yes, all of the sound design in this game is fantastic. Everything is like a very specific aural feel, damn it, to it. This trick can be this hard, but I can also hit it on first try, so it's not like, you know, it's not completely out of my league here. That time I just didn't dash fast enough at all. Alright, I am just going to ride this thing, and it's not quite working out for me right now. It's one of those things that, like, once I can do that on my first try, then I'll be great at it, but until then, anytime I'm doing it, it's mostly for practice. At this point, when the wind is, like, really fighting against you, there is some real wacky shit you can do to, like, move faster, but I'm not quite at the point where I can, you know, do that yet, so for now, we will just stick with this. Oops, I need to jump with the wind so that I can keep my dash for that part. There we go. When the wind gets really ridiculous, basically the only way that you can actually move forward against it is with dashes. Okay, that jump for some reason tends to give me trouble, so I'm happy I got that the first try. Here's a fun one. I want to get this thing to boost me up, but also do like a boosted dash jump here, so that I could just hit that one right there. Nice. And it basically skips a few extra parts, and it's like not that hard, so you might as well go for it. Oops, I should have gotten my jump back there, because I'm going to just need it to do that. So this part, you're basically getting, you know, all the stuff out of the way for this block. Which does mean that you can kind of ignore it most of the time. Whoops! I don't even need the dash jump there. Yeah, now the wind is like really ridiculous, but it's in my direction, so it's not It's easier than some sections coming up, is how I'll word that. Go. Alright, this section is very, very difficult. Ah, not quite what I wanted there. Eesh. I'll take that. Because of course, the game isn't content to just, like, you know, have the wind smashing you here. It also has to throw snowballs at you. Jumping on the snowballs works the same way as jumping on the ghost from the last chapter. It will refill your jump up and is helpful at certain points for doing just that, but God help you if you can't. Like, it's the timing on it is so tight. Now the wind is at the point where we literally have to be dashing forward to make basically any forward progress. And this is where I kind of hit the D-pad a little too hard. Ah, fuck, I knew that was gonna happen. I knew I was gonna do that to myself. We're almost to the end, though. If you can't tell, snowballs will spawn at, like, Madeline's current horizontal position, which means that if you're, you know, pushing yourself to move a bit, then you should generally be okay. Oops. Ah, fuck, I forgot I needed to dash there. I can't remember if this is the last screen or the second to last screen. I think it's the last screen, though. I say every time I say that, it's like, nope. No, it's not. Oh, right, this screen. This fucking kill me every time kind of screen. Oh, I dashed too early there, damn it. I could have had that. It's alright, though. This is the last screen, and then I hope. Nice, okay. Nice! Oh, God.
Oh.
Ugh. The Celeste Wind sections are really interesting because they do change, like, basically all of your movement instantaneously. Mirror Temple is a very tough level. I know I'm gonna say this about, like, everything, but there's a section at the end of Mirror Temple that is just absolutely awful for speedrunning. You'll see why. The nice thing about the early parts of this level is that at least some of the difficulty is in trying to, like, navigate and find keys here, and obviously I know where all the keys are, so. By the way, these red balls are sort of the same as the blue ones, except they, as you can see, just go until you know, hit a wall, basically. I'm gonna go in that room briefly so that I now spawn up there when I die, and I'm probably gonna die a few times here. If you can't tell, those blocks there go down, like move, basically, whenever I make a jump, or whenever I do a dash. There we go. First key. Cutscene. Switch. Oops, I need to go up there, not down. God, I've seen people fly through this room so quickly, and it's just absolutely wild. Right, okay, let me try to do this. Ah, almost. Probably should have just read that out. One more try. I'm feeling... Nope. Okay. You can basically skip this part over here, and like slide inside the wall. It's a bit hard to describe, at least when I'm, you know, in the middle of everything else. There's actually like a lot of just random skips and shit that I'm doing right now. Like we're gonna skip this key door by going up here. Normally you would have to go find a key to get through that door, but not if you do this. I didn't grab the wall there because I wasn't close enough to it. This game has ridiculously precise inputs, it should probably be mentioned. Yay, I made that one first try. The timing on those spikes can be pretty difficult. Oops. Okay, now we're gonna go into the Dream World segment, which is tough. Well, not this first part. Oh, absolutely, Maquette. Like I said, the dev has been working basically with the community and like modders and stuff to make this game very speedrun friendly, basically from the start. For a creepy monster thing. Whee! Now we're gonna skip like 20 cutscenes. 20's wrong, but it's 4. 4 cutscenes in this room. Now to this section, which is difficult. Because you're being chased by monsters. And sometimes you kind of have to get, you know, figure them out, basically. And you also have to, like, account for them. They can hit these switches for you, at least, which is nice of them. Oh, fuck. But they'll also kill you if they touch you. Yeah, you sort of have to bait them into hitting the switches, more or less. As with most of these types of impediments, you can jump on them, but it doesn't stop them forever. Ah, shit. Okay. Somehow we didn't die there. For the record, the door is over on the other side, so it's best to go get that switch after. Cutscene. Okay. We're about to do a pretty fun skip here that'll probably take me a few tries. Basically, there's a whole section of shit that you have to do and like 2 keys that you're supposed to get over to this room on the left. But you can skip all that. Nice. Ah, shit. I wanted to do that slightly faster than I did it. I also didn't want to dash there. That's alright, though. Whoops. Alright, so right now I want to dash on top of that platform to be able to, you know, push myself up with it. Not easy to do with one of these things. I was trying to jump on it there. This room is difficult. This whole part is difficult. I keep accidentally, like, jumping off the platform when I'd rather, like, You know, I'm just trying to use it to get the jump going. Honestly, like, being on one of these platforms is generally a bit, like, not great as far as controls go. There we go. That was what I wanted to do there. Okay. Damn it. I'm not entirely sure what just happened there. Oh, this room sucks, but I'll make it work. So, what I really want to do is dodge this guy so that I don't jump on him, but make him actually hit this platform. And it's so much harder than it looks, because once you're in this case here, it's like really, really difficult to get him to do it. This is probably one of the few rooms that I would say is like outright bad. Just because you can get yourself in an awful position. Anyway, this is probably the most cursed part of the run, because you have to carry your buddy Theo, who is amazing, and also eventually dodge monsters. And there's like some completely ridiculous movement tech that involves throwing him, doing super dashes and grabbing him again, and like sending yourself flying, but it's really fucking tough. Oh yeah, and the monsters will also like bump him back and shit. As long as he gets across, like, you can kind of see there are some doors that he can't hit. Or that like only open up when Theo is near them. There we go. That is one thing that I hadn't mentioned yet. If a monster explodes, like, with you in the general vicinity, or, like, you know, gets reborn, I guess, with you in the area, it will actually send you flying. Which can be really helpful. Ah, there we go. You are helping, Theo. Damn it. Honestly, this section is going a lot better than it usually does, which is probably an indicator of how it usually goes. Alright, let's just use that to fucking send ourselves flying. Ah, shit. I need Theo on that platform. By the way, Theo is not affected by the red spikes. So if I launch him... Oh my god. This is it, the saddest thing. There we go. So if I dash and launch him up, he'll hit that platform for me, because he's a good boy. Now there's this section. Whee! There is so much crap you can do here to make this section less awful in speedrunning, but the speedrun, but I don't know most of it. So. It's honestly going better than I was expecting it to go, because I believe this is the last room before, like, you know, the scripted segment. Nope, one more. Okay, right, this is the last room before the scripted segment. Throw him up here, get up myself. This has honestly gone so much better than it does during most of my practices. The controls here are also like very, very difficult and like different from most of the rest of the game. There, got it. Oh, oh god. This is actually going pretty okay. Yeah, basically, Theo, get me out of this whack-ass crystal prism. More or less. We will actually get into, like, what the deal with basically all of these symbols and stuff is. The game is shockingly coherent about most of that stuff, and I really love it for that. Oops. These feathers transform you into basically like a little flying light thing, and give you a few seconds of full like 360-degree movement, basically. That is one of my favorite cutscenes in the game, by the way. It's just, oh god. This game is very good, it turns out. Oops, didn't want him there. Oops, didn't want him there. It's basically when you bash this guy, he will be very angry at you, but that will be very helpful, because it'll throw you in the direction, you know, you'll basically be able to throw him in a direction. One thing I'm going to have to get better at is using screen transitions. Oh, I needed to go into him there to bash him. Because like screen transitions actually tend to give you unique momentum. Ah, damn it, you gotta jump real fast there. That's alright though. This level isn't ridiculous until the end. The end is absolutely wild though. Alright, we'll do this the long way. And then we won't ride him over, because I'm very good at this. That's enough, actually. Oh, you're kidding me. Ha! I wasn't actually expecting to get stuck in this room. God, every time. I'm just messing up my inputs here. Oh. Fuck. Alright, I'm just gonna do this the normal way, or at least attempt to. Obviously, he will kill you if he smashes you into a wall, so, like, watch out for that. The feather is probably one of the toughest, like, solo mechanics in the game because it's really, like, free 8-way movement. Gonna do a skip here. It's not like a major skip. Oh, come on. Ugh, God, I can't neutral wall climb right now. Come on. There we go. Well, that took longer than it should have, but it's fine. Whee! Oh, damn it. Alright, I think it's faster to die here than let him go back. Because I can't bump him again because I don't have a dash. You need to anger these large suns, you need to have a dash. I also apparently can't take this turn. There we go. Okay, so you actually get a choice of paths here, so hopefully I remember which ones I'm supposed to take. What I'm doing here is very unnecessary, and I think I'll just do it the normal way. When I practiced this, I died a bunch of times. Basically, you can use him to get height, and then jump in on this. Ah, fuck! And then, of course, even if you make the difficult jump, the actual, like, platforming challenge here is fairly difficult as well. There we go. I'll actually explain all these mechanics when we do our actual run, by the way. These things are relatively self-explanatory, I like to think. You bounce into them, they will reset your dash, but they will also, you know, send you flying based on what direction you input. Down. If it's not, then well, fuck me. think it's not, because I don't remember this room. And it doesn't really matter. The paths reconverge a ton of times, so I'll be back on my bullshit soon. Ah, the bubbles do need to be dashed into to break them, by the way. Did it again, damn it. All I have to do is press the button there. That's alright though. I also need to be pressing the correct directional button. Ah, fuck. I just didn't get a wall jump there. Ah, shit. And then I pushed off in the wrong direction from the feather, which kind of just straight up killed me. Ah, there we go. I thought that was a destructible wall. Is it really not? That's ridiculous. No wonder you normally go the upward path here, because there we go. Now we go the downward path here. Ah. Whee! Ah. I went up instead of to the side there. Whoops. Timing on that is ridiculously tight. Ah, shit. Alright, if I just do a regular dash, but like, you know, with down side pressed, then I'm fine. I just keep accidentally doing jump dashes and also just walking into it like an idiot. Which is fun. Oh my god! Stop! There! That's all I needed. And then I die anyway. Oh my god. This is like the silliest thing. Here's a room that confuses me. There's like a thing you can do to get a ton of momentum off this first jump, but I don't know what that is. So I'll stick with doing it the intended way. Oops. I should probably just go for the feathers as the intended route. Basically, you can skip some of these to save a little time, but I'm not quite that good yet. Oops. For the record, this is the second to last level, if you haven't been keeping up. The summit is next. The thing is, the summit is the longest level in the game by far, so... Oop! Okay, so I guess I hit the thing, but as I was doing the transformation, I moved myself into the death plane. Oops! Good. Okay, time for arguably the only boss fight of the game. Well, I have to make it there first, but, you know. Hope you're ready for the music to get even better. Go right, it's the other side. Ah, shit. I need to just press myself up against the wall there. And then press myself up against that wall there. And then, like, properly hit these areas here. Ah, damn it. This is difficult. This section right here is definitely one of the tougher ones. Oops, and then I missed that, so I guess I'm going the normal way, which is fine. Oh. Once again, I forgot to reposition myself, so oops. Alright, that just checkpointed me, so I'll be starting around there anyway. There we go. You get infinite dashes in water, by the way, which is a thing you can exploit. This is another game where like water mechanics exist but are not very often used. Now for this bit, which owns. Go, my large angry boy! Take me to the plot! So the whole point of this section is to smack yourself into your doppelganger here. And this will get progressively harder and go on for a long, long time. Oops. It is probably one of the most intense sections in the entire game. And I kind of love it. Ah, shit. Didn't want that. This is very, very difficult and not a thing I have practiced specific parts of the route for, so this might take a bit. Hello. Oops. You are checkpointed very aggressively, mostly at rooms. Her pattern will also change on a room-by-room basis, so this one fires some lasers at you and then switches over to the other pattern, which honestly, those balls are harder to dodge than the laser is. The laser has so much wind-up time. There we go. I believe she will stop shooting at you if you get close enough, though. Generally. Now it's time for some shit. Oh, this is one of the hardest parts. That turn just absolutely kills me every time. Whoop. Okay, good. I was a little worried we fucked that up. I thought I was gonna die there. Ah, damn it. I was gonna die there. Oops. Whee! That ain't good. There are faster ways to do everything I'm doing here, more or less. Should be noted. Like I said, most of my practice for this game has consisted of like learning what a lot of the tricks are and seeing if I can do them, and then watching a world record run and just seeing the route they take. Be good. We're getting close to the end here. Which kind of just means that this is going to get even more ridiculous. Ah, shit. I need to bounce upward there to avoid that set of spikes I'm getting launched into. There we go. can see I'm getting super jumps from those platforms that are going up. That can be a blessing and a curse. Ah, shit. See, I was expecting to get one there and I didn't, which screwed up my timing. Whoops, I didn't want that spring. I almost just fucked that up. For the record, this is all just the world's most aggressive hug. Ah, damn it. I almost had that. Launch myself into that. Yes! Ugh. Okay, level up. We have 2 dashes now. Once again, kind of a blessing curse situation. Because that means the next level is even more ridiculous as far as jumps that it can expect of us. Not a cutscene yet. Now it's a cutscene. Well, made it to the end of Reflection by an hour. That's honestly pretty good. Summit will likely take me around 40 minutes, though. I should mention. Because the thing about Summit is that it's actually a like redux of every level in the game. But now with double jump mechanics. Right, the wall is there. I thought this was a different room than it was. Nice. That room is giving me trouble in practice for whatever reason. I think this is okay. Yeah. And then I fuck up the jump at the end. That's fine. This is also one of my favorite tracks in the soundtrack. Each of these segments of the of this section ends with a room like that where you're basically jumping from orb to orb. That wasn't what I wanted at all. So yeah, this part is obviously the city. That was weird. I thought I had actually hit the spring there. This is fine, actually. The summit is really an endurance test more than anything, but it's also extremely difficult. Ah, I was not holding to grab the wall there. The nice thing about this game is that you will almost always know what the mistake was when you have made one. Oops. Oh, right, he goes that way. I thought that was gonna go down. Whoops! A lot of this is going to be custom combos as I go through. Ah, that's what I wanted. There we go. Those blocks move when you stand on them, by the way. There are a lot of, like, iterations on similar concepts in this game. And they're all generally signposted very, very well. Which, again, it's a good game. Oops, didn't quite want that. There we go. Oops. Alright, I need to save this because I can't jump into this dream goop without a dash. And there are a lot of things like that in the game that you sort of just have to be aware of, like just the way the mechanics work. Yeah, I should definitely go into the... Nope! I'm making a lot of this up as I go, by the way. This is where springs, like, refilling your jumps comes in handy. It should be noted that these things also, like, the dream blocks also refill your jumps, so... I need to be using jumps out of these things. There's so many weird situational mechanics in this game. Whee! Now it's time for the Hotel Redux, which is a lot. The star blocks are absolutely fantastic. The old site B-side is definitely one of the more, like, ridiculous and interesting ones, with the possible exception of the final room, which is awful. Ah, shit, I actually thought I was gonna die there. When you can dash twice, it does give you a lot of options for dodging these guys, by the way. Because a lot of the stuff is they just move so quickly that it can be so easy to, you know, mistime a jump and then just die to them. Ah, shit. Of course, we get sent all the way back. The end of this room really isn't so bad. He says before dying on the very last guy. I'm kind of shocked I actually just made that. Very, very careful there. A lot of these rooms are going to be safe strats rather than fast strats. Shit. This room might require a fast one, though. Right, I can't do that. Oh. I need to retain my jump here is basically what I'm trying to do. Which to do, I need to be like There we go. And then I hit that thing. This is a difficult room. Suppose the same could be said for most of them. This is kind of how you're supposed to do it. Ah, shit. Those guys move so quickly. Yeah, I should probably just do this the regular way. I say as I then try to avoid doing it the regular way. I have to remember the exact route here. I believe I'm going down after this. Yeah. Shit. There we go. Secret room in there. This is a very tough game, I should say, yeah. I'm only barely peeking at chat occasionally. Oops! Didn't actually think I was on those spikes. And the nice thing about, you know, doing a first run of the game like this is that I can kind of, no matter what I do, it's still gonna be a PB, baby. Okay, we're done with the hotel room, except for this room, which can be hell. Ah! That is the last jump, though. You can kind of see here exactly why I find this room, or like why I find these guys to be so difficult. Like, by the time that you're you know, in the air, you've basically already committed, and you can like save yourself for about half a second, but that's about it, you know. There we go. Got it. Yep. Can't skip the cutscene until they split in two. Now we're on to Golden Ridge. Means clouds and wind, which, you know, wind, definitely my favorite mechanic. The nice thing about these is I feel like these run-throughs are short enough that they aren't, you know, obnoxious. But it still feels like ridiculously gratifying when you finally manage to beat this. Right, like that. Shit. I think I'm dead here. Yeah. I need to hit myself straight into that lower wall there, or else like the wind is not going to let me recover. There we go. And there's also snowballs. Although they're a bit easier to dodge now, just because you've got the double dash, which just sort of makes life easier. Basically, they gave you an extra juke. You can do some shit to skip this scroller section here, but I'm not good enough for that. So. We'll just be riding it the normal way. This room can be incredibly difficult. Ah, damn it. I went a little too quick there. Ah, shit. I needed to get on that after my jump died out, or after my climbing strength started to weaken. Ah, there we go. Got it. There we go. Damn, I almost got that first try. That would be good. When the wind is going in your direction, it's actually really nice. Ow. All right, I don't know why I didn't die there. I'm okay with it though. I can live with this. Oh right, I didn't have another jump there. Fuck. A demise of my own making. By the way, those stamina refillers, or those jump refillers, will also refill your stamina. Worth noting. Okay. Last room in here, fairly difficult one. The wind will basically, you know, turn it on and off as you hit battle line here. There we go. Alright, I did that faster than I expected. Okay, so now we're up to the temple. And trust me when I say, this one is some shit. But it does have some fun skips. Right. Jumped a little too early there. That was just silly of me. Oh, I thought I was dead there. Oops, that didn't work like I expected it to. Right, I gotta do a wave dash jump to fucking launch myself. God, that is like the best shit. You do have to get it in the right position for these platforms, though. But yeah, there is some just completely egregious momentum stuff that you can do in this game if you know what you're doing. Okay. Alright, a guy actually taught me how to do this in the Discord. I gotta like... Ah, just missed it. Okay, I can do that though. Basically, I'm skipping a key segment here. It's a little tough, but honestly, it's not like the worst thing. There we go. It's like, it's a relatively short skip, but it's worth learning, because once I can do that reliably, I'll be, you know, it'll be pretty easy. Oops, forgot I have to jump into that one to make that big old spike pillar disappear. Not too bad. Say as I die. Whee! God, that shit is good. There are some places where I can do some tricks. I'm not quite there yet, but, you know, I am... Like, the reason I like this game is that even doing this, which is like, I know that there are so many completely ridiculous tricks that I could be doing, I still feel like I'm doing really well on it, basically. Just barely make it to that one. And then we get in this room. Oops. You can totally make it onto that with a really good wave dash, but I haven't practiced it, so we ain't doing it. Okay, here we go. The last segment of this is kind of ridiculous, but once we get through it, we are actually to the final portion of this level. There we go. Nice! Yeah, the duck is really good in this game. All the animations are really strong. Here we go. sort of cheated that. It's fine. Oops. All of these flags are checkpoints towards the end of the game, so you can tell how close we're getting, basically, by the numbers going down. This climb, the first time you ever do it, like, I love this. Oops. By the way, there's a downward wind here, so you don't gain nearly as much height from, like, jumps and shit. I am going to hit that, because this section has definitely killed me more than once. Like that! We... Ah, damn it. This game asks a lot of you, but it's all, like, so fucking satisfying when you finally get it. The B-side levels of this game are absolutely wild, and, like, the stuff that it was asking me to do was just, like, really, you think I can do this shit, and then it turns out I can, like, every damn time. It's wild. Oh yeah, and the music is, like, so perfect for this. Oops. Honestly, I was kind of crying for most of, like, this section of this. It's like, I don't know, this whole game is so emotional. Okay, this is probably one of the single hardest segments. The wind has shifted so that it is now going up, which means that we are actually getting a ton of extra momentum from our jump, or like a ton of extra distance from our jumps. I accidentally used an extra dash there. And that's something you kind of have to take into account. I need to use one jump there to get up, and then one more jump to, like, get through, basically. Go. Here we go. Oh god, I need to jump onto that wall there. I know there's a way to do that without doing it, to like get that part without hitting that wall, but I am not quite at that point yet. Ah, shit, I ran out of stamina at just the wrong time there. And I forgot to grab on that ledge again. I got this. Not that ledge. God, that's terrifying. All right, 12. Forgot that that was a stamina one and not a feather. Because of course there are feathers in this. 11. Do this. Ah, I missed the stamina crystal. Even this section, like, checkpoints you so aggressively that, like, everything feels like its own challenge. Like, I really like the way that this game handles the checkpointing, because it's, like, really, really nice to you, but it doesn't feel quite as broken up as, like, Super Meat Boy did. This here is one of the most challenging, like, single things, because you have to position yourself perfectly for what the game is asking you to do here. But we're getting there. There we go, yeah, like you really do need every jump you got to get through that shit. By the way, the pink clouds disappear when you jump on them the first time, so don't fuck up is basically how they work. Oh, we're getting there. Wind's done. 4. You can use that to look all the way up to the summit. Right, I need to use my dash there. This is another one of those just ridiculously hard gauntlets to get from 4 to 3. Ah, damn it. Probably not as hard as the last one I pointed out, but certainly up there. Three. Hitting that a bunch. Got a dash here and dash out there because if you try jumping off of it, it will basically you'll jump up into it. 2. Shit. I actually needed that second jump. All right, I'm gonna wait here. Refill here. There we go. And then jump into the crystal anyway. Perfect. Nailed it. Ugh, okay. Wasn't sure I was gonna make that. 1. Ugh. And that's the run. Hour 28 minutes. That's honestly better than I expected it would be. Like, 25 minutes on the summit is really good. Ugh.